I'll write an expanded version of Part 1 in simple English third-person style, without headings. Here's a more detailed story of Dr. Mina Park's first contact. The red alert flashed across Mina's screen for the third time that week. Most of her fellow scientists at Ganymede Research Facility had stopped paying attention to these energy spikes from Jupiter's magnetosphere, dismissing them as normal atmospheric disturbances. But Dr. Mina Park noticed something different this time. A pattern in the chaos. "Look at this," she said to her lab partner, who merely shrugged and continued analyzing soil samples. "The energy signature is repeating exactly every 42 minutes. Nature doesn't work that way." Mina spent 3 days tracking the signal, sleeping only when her body demanded it. On the 4th day, she calibrated the Deep Space Telescope to focus on the coordinates where the signal originated. What she saw made her heart race. A tiny metallic object no bigger than a rice grain, moving deliberately against Jupiter's swirling winds. The facility's retrieval drone took 8 hours to reach the object and another 6 to return. When it finally arrived, Mina's hands trembled as she placed the microscopic craft into a sealed container. Under the electron microscope, she could see it was made of an unknown metal with no visible seams or entry points. "This is definitely not human technology," Mina whispered to herself, recording her observations. The craft emitted a soft blue glow that pulsed in rhythm with her heartbeat. Somehow, it seemed to be responding to her presence. Against all safety protocols, Mina took the container to her private lab after hours. She knew the official process would mean years of committees and military involvement before any real science could happen. The craft represented the first proof of alien intelligence. She couldn't let bureaucracy bury this discovery. In her lab, Mina created a controlled environment for the craft, hoping to encourage it to reveal its secrets. For days, nothing happened. Then, while she dozed at her desk, a sharp crack woke her. The containment field had developed a microscopic fracture. Before she could react, the alien craft opened like a flower, releasing a droplet of clear liquid. Mina's hand jerked forward instinctively to protect the sample, cutting her finger on the broken glass. A drop of her blood mixed with the alien substance. The mixture swirled, glowed intensely, then stabilized into a tiny translucent sphere with a pulsing center. Under the microscope, Mina could see cellular structures forming and dividing at impossible speeds. The alien substance had merged with her DNA. What had been a simple liquid was now growing into something else, something alive. "It's an embryo," she realized with shock. "A hybrid embryo." The organism grew visibly hour by hour. By morning, it had developed recognizable features: tiny limbs, a head, but with subtle differences from a human embryo. Its skin had a faint, bluish tint, and its eyes, when they formed, were larger than a human baby's would be. Mina knew she should report this immediately, but something stopped her. A feeling of protectiveness washed over her as she watched the tiny being develop. It wasn't just alien anymore, it carried her own genetic material. In some biological sense, this was her child. The facility director, Dr. Tae-won, chose that moment to conduct a surprise inspection of all labs. When he entered Mina's lab, his face shifted from curiosity to horror as he recognized what he was seeing. "This is a severe breach of protocol," he said coldly. "That organism must be destroyed immediately and contained for analysis." "It's alive," Mina protested, "and it contains human DNA, my DNA." "All the more reason to terminate it," Dr. Tae-won replied. "We have no idea what it's capable of or what its purpose might be. For all we know, this could be some form of biological weapon." He reached for the emergency containment button. Mina moved faster, placing herself between the director and the growing embryo. "I need 24 hours, she pleaded, "just to run basic tests and document its development." "Impossible," he said, reaching around her. "Security will be here in 5 minutes to secure this lab and its contents." As soon as Dr. Tae-won left to call security, Mina locked the heavy lab doors and pushed a storage cabinet against them. She knew this action would end her career, possibly land her in prison, but she couldn't let them destroy the life form. Something deep inside told her this wasn't a weapon or a threat. It was a first contact. a bridge between worlds. The tiny being seemed to sense her distress. Its growth accelerated, and as security began pounding on the door, Mina swore she felt a gentle touch in her mind, a feeling of gratitude and trust. "I won't let them hurt you," she whispered to the embryo. "Whatever you are, wherever you came from, you're safe with me." The light of Jupiter filtered through the lab window as Mina watched Hana sleeping peacefully in the makeshift incubator. 3 weeks had passed since she barricaded herself in the lab. The hybrid child had grown at an astonishing rate, now resembling a 3-year-old girl with delicate features, light blue skin, and unusually large, deep eyes that seemed to hold ancient wisdom. Mina had fashioned clothes from spare lab coats and created toys from empty containers. The security team still guarded the door, but after their initial attempts to break in failed, they'd settled into a waiting game, delivering food and necessities through a small transfer box. "Water," came a small voice from the incubator. Mina jumped, nearly dropping her tablet. It was the first word Hana had spoken aloud. "You can talk now?" Mina rushed to the child's side. Hana smiled, revealing slightly pointed teeth. "I learn fast. Your mind teaches me." Mina felt a strange, tingling sensation in her head as Hana reached out small, 6-fingered hands. When their fingers touched, a flood of images rushed into Mina's mind. Vast starfields, planets with rings of ice, beings of light discussing around a circular table. "What was that?" Mina gasped, pulling back. "My people," Hana said simply. "The Vanu." Over the next few days, as Hana's vocabulary expanded hourly, Mina learned the truth through their growing telepathic connection. The Vanu had watched humanity for centuries from hidden observation posts throughout the solar system. Ancient and peaceful, they had seen hundreds of species rise and fall across the galaxy. "Not accident," Hana explained one night as they shared a meal of reconstituted pasta. "I am bridge, 2 worlds together." "You were sent here on purpose?" Mina asked. Hana nodded. "Vanu cannot breathe your air, cannot touch your world. Too different. Need someone who understands both." "Me." "But why my DNA specifically?" Mina wondered. Hana touched Mina's forehead gently. "Your mind. Open, kind, strong, not afraid of different." The telepathic link strengthened daily. Mina experienced glimpses of Vanu history, a civilization millions of years old that had evolved beyond physical limitations, becoming stewards of developing worlds across the galaxy.
"Vanu debate for long time," Hana explained. "Humans fight, hurt each other. Some Vanu say humans not ready. Others say humans have special gift, adapt, feel deeply, create beauty from pain." Mina understood then. "I'm not just a random scientist."
"Who found your craft? You chose me." Hana's smile was both childlike and ancient. "Yes, you were watched, tested." One morning, Mina woke to find Hana floating 6 inches above her sleeping pad, eyes closed in deep concentration. "Hana, what are you doing?" The child opened her eyes, gently descending. "Talking to others. They come soon." "Who's coming?" "The Vanu Council. To meet humans. First meeting of worlds." Mina felt panic rise in her chest. "But we're locked in a lab. Earth doesn't even know about you officially." "They know now," Hana said gravely. As if on cue, the communication screen blinked to life. The stern face of Commander Jun Kim filled the display. His military uniform bore the insignia of Earth's Space Defense Force. "Dr. Park," he said coldly, "I've been ordered to extract the alien entity from your facility. Cooperate and you'll be treated leniently." "She's not an entity," Mina protested. "Her name is Hana, and she's here as an ambassador." Commander Kim's expression hardened. "Our intelligence suggests it's a biological probe sent to assess our weaknesses. We've detected unusual energy signatures throughout the solar system consistent with a hidden invasion force." "That's not true," Mina cried, but Hana placed a small hand on her arm. "Let me," the child said, stepping forward. She gazed directly at the commander. You fear what you do not understand. This is natural. But I am not your enemy. The commander looked startled as Hana established eye contact. For a moment, his rigid posture softened. My transport arrives at Ganymede tomorrow, he said, recovering his stern demeanor. Prepare the subject for transfer. After the screen went dark, Mina sank to the floor. They'll take you away, study you, maybe worse. Hana's face remained calm. We must leave tonight, others will help. Leave? How? We're locked in and surrounded by guards. Hana smiled mysteriously. I am more than I seem. Vanu gave me gifts. That night, as Jupiter's shadow stretched across the lab floor, Hana placed her small hands against the reinforced door. A soft blue light spread from her fingertips, seeping into the metal like water into sand. The massive door simply melted away, revealing the startled faces of the guards. Before they could react, Hana raised her arms. The guards froze in place, their eyes glazing over. They sleep now, Hana explained. Come, ship waits. Taking Mina's hand, the child led her through the silent facility. Somehow everyone they encountered stood motionless, caught in some kind of waking dream. What did you do to them? Mina whispered. Peaceful dreams, Hana replied. They see what makes them happy. They will wake when we are gone. They reached the shuttle bay where a small transport vessel hummed with power, its systems already active. Now, we find others, Hana said, climbing aboard. The true meeting begins. The shuttle sped away from Ganymede, its engines straining as Mina pushed them beyond normal capacity. Through the rear view screen, she could see the facility growing smaller, with emergency lights flashing across its surface. Several security vessels had already launched in pursuit. They're gaining on us, Mina said, her hands dancing across the control panel. Though she had basic pilot training, the small research shuttle wasn't designed for speed or evasion. Hana sat in the co-pilot seat, her blue skin glowing faintly in the dim cabin light. Do not worry, she said calmly. Touch the controls with me. When Mina placed her hands next to Hana's, the child's fingers began to emit that now familiar blue light. It spread across the control panel, and suddenly the shuttle's engines hummed with new power. What did you do? Mina asked in amazement as the pursuing ships fell behind. I asked the ship to try harder, Hana replied with a childlike smile. Machines have simple minds, but they can hear me too. Once they were safely beyond Jupiter's orbit, Hana guided Mina to set course for what appeared to be an empty section of the asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter. There is nothing there on our charts, Mina said, but she followed the child's directions. It is hidden, Hana explained. Like me until now. As they traveled, Hana's growth continued. By the third day of their journey, she appeared to be 5 years old. She spent hours looking out at the stars, sometimes whispering in a language Mina couldn't understand. Are you talking to them? The Vanu? Mina asked during one of these moments. Hana nodded. They are excited and worried. About what? About whether they were right about humans. Hana turned to face Mina, her large eyes serious. My people have watched Earth for over 1,000 years. They have seen your wars, your cruelty to each other. We're not perfect, Mina admitted, but also your art, your music, your willingness to risk yourselves for others, Hana continued. Most species in the galaxy develop either great technology or great compassion, rarely both. Through their mental connection, which grew stronger daily, Mina glimpsed the Vanu's perspective, watching human history unfold across centuries, debating whether this volatile species might someday join the peaceful galactic community, or whether they would need to be contained. The Vanu Council was divided, Hana explained. Some believed humans too dangerous, too unpredictable. Others saw potential. Your adaptability, your creativity, your capacity for growth. And you're the tiebreaker? Mina asked. Hana's laugh was like small bells. I am the test. If humans met an alien child, part human, part other, would they protect or exploit? Would they see a bridge between worlds or a weapon to be used? Mina felt the weight of this responsibility. But I'm just one person. How can my reaction represent all of humanity? You were chosen carefully, Hana replied. Neither the best nor worst of your kind, just human, and you chose compassion over rules, protection over fear. On the 6th day, as they approached, the coordinates Hana had provided, their scanners suddenly came alive with warnings. Multiple vessels approaching, the computer announced. Earth Defense Fleet signatures detected. Mina's heart sank. They found us. They must have tracked our emissions. Yes, Hana said. And now we must trust. The view screen showed at least a dozen military ships moving to surround them. The largest bore the insignia of Commander Jun Kim's flagship. Dr. Park, his voice came through the communication system. Power down your engines and prepare to be boarded. This is your only warning. Mina looked desperately at Hana. What do we do now? Instead of answering, Hana stood and walked to the center of the shuttle cabin. Her small body began to glow, brighter and brighter until Mina had to shield her eyes. We have arrived, Hana announced, her voice suddenly carrying strange harmonics. The observation post will welcome us. Outside the viewport, the seemingly empty space before them shimmered and transformed. A massive structure appeared where nothing had been visible before, a gleaming station built into the surface of an asteroid. It was beautiful, with graceful curves and lights that pulsed in patterns similar to Hana's glow. The shuttle's controls moved on their own, guiding them toward an opening in the station. Behind them, the Earth vessels halted in apparent shock at the station's sudden appearance. This is where the Vanu have watched from, Hana said. A place between worlds like me. As their shuttle glided into the docking bay, Mina gazed in wonder at the alien architecture surrounding them. The interior was filled with a soft light that seemed to come from nowhere and everywhere. What happens now? Mina asked. Hana took her hand. Now we talk, all of us together. The Vanu, the humans, and those in between. The real test begins. The darkness of space offered little protection as 3 military ships closed in on Mina and Hana's shuttle. Commander Kim's flagship led the pursuit, its weapon systems locked onto their small vessel. They're within firing range, Mina said, checking the radar display. Her hands trembled as she piloted toward the Vanu observation post, still 2 hours away at their current speed. Hana, now appearing about 6 years old, placed her small blue hand on Mina's arm. We must talk to them, not just the leaders, but everyone. How? They've blocked our communications to Earth Central. Not blocked, Hana corrected. I can open all channels, every screen, every communication device in the solar system. Before. Mina could question this. Hana closed her eyes in concentration. The shuttle's simple communication array suddenly glowed with the now familiar blue light. The control panel came alive, displays showing connection to thousands of networks simultaneously. It's ready, Hana said. Speak your truth. Mina took a deep breath and faced the camera. My name is Dr. Mina Park of the Ganymede Research Facility. 3 weeks ago I discovered what I thought was an alien probe but turned out to be much more. Her voice grew stronger as she continued, explaining Hana's birth, growth, and the reason for her creation. She isn't a weapon or a threat. She's a bridge, half human, half Vanu, created to determine if our species is ready to join a galactic community of intelligent life. Mina turned the camera toward Hana, who smiled and waved. Hello, humans, Hana said simply. I am like you, but also different. I was made to understand both worlds. Across the solar system, their broadcast interrupted regular programming. On Earth, on Mars colonies, on space stations and outposts, people gathered around screens to watch the strange blue child and the scientist who protected her. The military ships pursuing us have orders to capture Hana for study and possible weaponization, Mina continued. But this isn't just about one child. This is humanity's first impression to an ancient, peaceful civilization that's watching to see what kind of neighbors we might be. On the military flagship, Commander Kim slammed his fist on the console. Cut that transmission. Sir, we can't, his communications officer replied. It's bypassing all our systems. Then prepare to disable their engines. Non-lethal force only. Lieutenant Dae-hyun, who stood at weapons control, hesitated. Sir, with respect, I've been monitoring their communications. What if they're telling the truth? That's not our concern, Lieutenant. Our orders come directly from Earth Central. I cannot follow that order, sir. Dae-hyun stepped away from his station. Not if it means being remembered as the officer who ruined humanity's first peaceful contact with alien life. To everyone's surprise, 3 other officers joined him. Commander Kim's face reddened with anger. But before he could respond, the communications screen lit up with incoming messages from Earth. Earth's leaders, responding to overwhelming public pressure as the broadcast spread, were demanding a halt to the military action. The people have spoken, one message read. Approach with caution, but no aggressive action. Meanwhile, Hana sat cross-legged on the shuttle floor, her face serene, despite the chaos. Through their mental link, Mina felt the child connecting with something vast and distant. What do you see? Mina asked softly. My other family, Hana replied. They watch, they wait, they hope. Through Hana's eyes, Mina glimpsed it. Beyond Neptune's orbit, hidden by advanced technology, a fleet of Vanu ships waited. Not warships, but great arcs of knowledge and culture, homes to beings who had explored the galaxy for millions of years. If we fail this test, Mina whispered, what happens? Earth remains alone, Hana said sadly. A quarantine field around your solar system. No one comes in, no one goes out. For your protection and others until humans learn peace. The thought chilled Mina to her core. Humanity, so close to reaching beyond their solar system, would be caged like dangerous animals. Their shuttle continued its journey, now followed by the military vessels at a respectful distance. Commander Kim had been ordered to escort, not capture. Public feeds showed people gathering in cities across Earth, watching the skies. Scientists debated the implications of contact. Religious leaders called for calm and openness. Lieutenant Dae-hyun, though relieved of duty for his refusal to fire, had become a voice of reason on the military channel. We're witnessing history, he told his fellow officers, the moment humanity grows up. As they approached the coordinates of the Vanu observation, Post Hana stood and faced the viewport. Her entire body began to glow brightly. They're coming to meet us, she said, her voice echoing strangely. The council has decided it's time. The observation post shimmered into visibility ahead of them, its beautiful architecture now illuminated, fully. Behind them, the military vessels slowed in amazement. Mina felt tears in her eyes. Is this it? Have we passed? Hana turned to her with a smile both ancient and new. Not yet. But now at least we have a chance. The real conversation is about to begin. The vast observation post hummed with energy as Earth ships docked alongside the revealed Vanu station. The diplomatic chamber, designed for this historic moment, featured a circular platform surrounded by seats for representatives from both civilizations. Light seemed to flow like water through the walls, creating an atmosphere of calm despite the tension. Mina stood nervously at the edge of the platform, watching Earth's hastily assembled delegation file in. Military officers, scientists, and government officials gazed in wonder at the alien architecture. Commander Kim entered last, his face unreadable as he took his seat. Are you ready? Mina asked, looking down at Hana. The child, now appearing about 7 years old with her blue, skin shimmering slightly, nodded. In just weeks, she had grown from embryo to young girl, her mind blending human emotion with Vanu wisdom. They're coming, Hana whispered. The far wall of the chamber dissolved, revealing the Vanu for the first time. They glided rather than walked. Tall beings of semi-transparent blue light with graceful limbs and features that seemed to shift subtly. They made no sound as they entered, but Mina felt a gentle pressure in her mind. Their form of greeting. The Earth delegates gasped, some rising to their feet, others shrinking back. Commander Kim's hand moved instinctively toward his weapon, though he stopped himself. Hana stepped to the center of the platform. When she spoke, her voice carried effortlessly throughout the chamber. People of Earth, honored council of Vanu, I stand before you as both and neither, a bridge between worlds. Her small face was solemn. For centuries, the Vanu have watched humanity's journey, debating whether your species was ready to join the galactic community. The largest of the Vanu beings moved forward, its form pulsing gently. Through their mental connection, Mina understood it was speaking directly to Hana. The council leader asks why they should trust humans with knowledge of other civilizations. When humans still fight among themselves, Hana translated. Commander Kim stood. We have the right to defend ourselves. If your intentions are peaceful, why hide for so long? The Vanu leader's form flickered with patterns of light. The council says many young species destroy themselves when they discover they are not alone, Hana explained. Fear leads to weapons, weapons lead to destruction. The tension in the room grew. Some Earth delegates began arguing about military readiness, while others called for peaceful exchange. Stop, Mina said suddenly, stepping forward beside Hana. This is exactly what they fear from us. She took a deep breath and addressed the Vanu directly. We are young, yes, we make mistakes, but we learn from them. That's our greatest strength. Hana smiled up at Mina, then turned to both delegations. The Vanu have encountered many species across the galaxy, some with technology far beyond Earth's, some who live for thousands of years, some who can travel through dimensions. Images appeared in the air above the platform. Strange worlds, beautiful and terrible, populated by beings of incredible diversity. But among all these, Hana continued, few possess what humans have in abundance, the capacity to care deeply for those different from themselves. She reached for Mina's hand. This scientist risked everything to protect a child not of her species, and she is not unique. Throughout human history, individuals have shown compassion that defies logic, making sacrifices without calculating gain. Lieutenant Dae Hyun, who had joined the Earth delegation despite his earlier insubordination, stood up. The child is right. When faced with something new and frightening, many of us chose protection over fear. That must count for something. The Vanu Council's lights pulsed in patterns of discussion. Finally, the leader approached Hana, placing a luminous appendage gently on her head. Hana's eyes widened. The Council has reached a decision. They offer Earth a place in the galactic community, not as students, but as partners. Murmurs ran through the Earth delegation. Many species have great technology but little empathy, Hana explained. The Vanu believe humans might help bridge ancient conflicts elsewhere in the galaxy, teaching others what you know instinctively, how to see beyond difference. The leader of Earth's delegation stepped forward. And what does this partnership mean in practical terms? An exchange, Hana said. Knowledge shared both ways, a human embassy among the stars, and me, as the first of many bridges between our worlds. 6 months later, a new structure gleamed on the dark side of Earth's moon, the Embassy of Galactic Relations. Inside its main hall, Mina adjusted her formal diplomat's jacket, still amazed by how much had changed. Ready? Hana asked, now appearing as a 9-year-old but with wisdom far beyond her apparent age. As ready as I'll ever be to welcome our first alien ambassadors to Earth, Mina replied with a smile. Together they walked to the greeting chamber, the unexpected ambassadors, a scientist who chose compassion over protocol and a child born of 2 worlds, leading humanity into a broader universe where their capacity for love might become their greatest contribution to the stars.